In this video, I want to show you how to solve linear simultaneous equations using the substitution method. Right, so we have a few steps that we have to follow. The first one, choose one unknown in any of the equations and make it the subject of the formula. So first of all, make one unknown the subject of the formula. So this method is when it is to make any one unknown the subject of the formula. Right, step number 2, substitute the expression for the chosen unknown into the other equation. For example, if you choose x in equation 1, then you have to substitute the expression for x in equation 2 into equation 2. Right, let's move on to the third step, where we'll be solving the new linear equation formulated in step 2 above for the included unknown. For example, if you formulate an equation in x, you'll be solving for x. If you formulate an equation in y, you'll be solving for y. Right, then the fourth step is to substitute the value that you get in step 3 into any of the two original equations and find the corresponding value of the other unknown. If you solve for x first, so you have to substitute the value that you get, the x value that you get into any of the equations, into any of the original equations, so that you find the corresponding value of y. Right, here is our first example. In this case, if you look at this one, suppose this one is equation 1, right? Then this one will be equation 2. Right, now if you look at this equation 2, y is already the subject of the formula, so we are not going to make it the subject. It is already the subject of the formula, so we are going to take y, this expression of y, because when we are saying y is equal to 2x plus 1, that means instead of writing y, I can just write 2x plus 1. Right, so I am going to substitute, since this one is in equation 2, so I am going to substitute for y. I will be substituting 2x plus 1. So I am going to rewrite equation 1, but without y. I will rewrite this equation 1 in terms of x only, like this. Right, 2x, this 2x as it is here, then minus 3y. Instead of writing y, we are no longer writing y, we are now substituting 2x plus 1 for y, since y is exactly the same as 2x plus 1. So we now have a new equation. So we are now solving this simple linear equation by first of all removing brackets. So if we remove the brackets here, 2x as it is here, then minus 3 by 2x, we get minus 6x, minus 3 by 1, it's minus 3, and this is equals to minus 7. Right, let's now simplify the left hand side at the same time, taking minus 3 to the other side. If we simplify this side, we find out that 2x minus 6x is minus 4x, which is equals to, as this 3 changes the side, it also changes the sign, so it will be 3 minus 7, and this simplifies to minus 4 is equals to minus 4. This simplifies to minus 4x is equal to minus 4. Now solving for x, let's divide both sides by the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x in this case is minus 4, so let's divide both sides by minus 4 like this, such that this minus 4 and this minus 4 will go, this minus 4 and this minus 4 will give us 1. So x is equal to 1 like this. Right, now that we have the value of x, we can now substitute this value of x into any of the original equations. We have these two original equations. So since y is the subject of the formula in equation 2, so I can now take x into this equation 2. So it will be 2 factor of 1 since x is equals to 1. I am now substituting 1 for x here, right? It was 2x plus 1. It is now 2. Then instead of x, I am now writing 1 because x is equals to 1, right? So it's 2 factor of 1 plus 1. And this simplifies to 3. So y is equal to 3 like this. Right, let's move on to our second example. So let's move on to our second example here. Right, in this case, if you look at these two equations, we have this h in the second equation. If we take this one as our first equation, then the other one is the second equation. Right, this h, it is very easy for us to make this h the subject of the formula. So what we are going to do is we are going to make this h the subject of the formula h in equation 2, right? By simply taking h to the right hand side, at the same time taking 5 to the left hand side, so h will be equal to g minus 5, right, like this. And this one is still equation 2. This one is still equation 2. It's only that we have rearranged equation 2, but that's the same equation. So we are going to substitute 2g minus 5 for h, but in equation 1 now, because this one is still equation 2. So we are going to rewrite equation 1, 3g plus 2. Instead of writing h, we are now substituting 2g minus 5 for h, like this. Right, the whole of this expression in the brackets is h, sorry. Right, so let's remove the brackets here and solve for g. Right, 2 by 2g for g minus 10 is equals to 4, then plus 3. Right, now let's simplify both sides. On the left hand side, we are only going to add 3g to 4g, at the same time taking minus 10 to the right hand side where it will be adding, because on the left hand side it is subtracting, so changing side it will also change the sign, right? 7g is equals to 4 plus 10, which simplifies to 14. So 7g is equals to 14. Now dividing both sides by the coefficient of g, which is 7, we find out that this 7 will cancel with this 7. Then 7 into 7, it's 1. 7 into 14, it's 2. So we are saying g is equal to 2. Now that we have the value of g, we have to find the corresponding value of h. So let's use this equation. We can use any of the equations. We can use equation 1 or equation 2. So let's use this one. This one is still equation 2, but we have rearranged it. So let's substitute for g. We are now substituting 2. Then this simplifies to 4 minus 5, which is minus 1. Right, let's move on to our third example. Right, in this case, I encourage you not to use the substitution method, but since we are talking about the substitution method, I will use the substitution method. But if it is not easy to make any one of the unknown the subject of the formula, I encourage you to use other methods like the elimination method. Right, but let me take you through the process of solving these simultaneous equations using the substitution method. Right, so we choose one unknown of our choice and make it the subject of the formula. Right, I want to choose f in equation 2. I want to choose f in equation 2, this f. Right, now I will make it the subject of the formula by taking 5f to the right hand side, and it will be positive 5f. Then taking minus 16 to the other side, it will be plus 16. Then I divide by 5 and I will get this one. F is the subject of the formula, and this one is still equation 2. So I am now taking this one into this f in equation 1. So I will rewrite equation 1, but in terms of E only, like this. Right, the whole of this one, the whole of this one is F, because the whole of this one is F, because F is equals to the whole of this one. Right, now let's remove the brackets and simplify. Let's now remove the brackets and simplify here, but we also have to clear the denominator, so let's clear the denominator first. So if we multiply this one by 5, we find 12. If we multiply this one by 5, we find 20e. Then here to clear, then minus 4 on the right hand side by 5, also get minus 20. Now let's remove the brackets here and simplify and solve for e. Right, this will give us minus 6e minus 48. Collecting minus 48 to the right hand side, we remain with 14e, which is equals to 48 minus 20, and this simplifies to 14e, which is equals to 28, and now dividing by the coefficient of the unknown, which is 14, we find out that e is equals to 2. Having this value of e, we can now use it to find the corresponding value of f. We can use this equation. We can now use this equation. F is equals to 2e plus 16 all over 5, right, like this. So for e we are substituting 2, so it will be 2 by 2 plus 16, which is being divided by 5, and this simplifies to 20 over 5, which is 4. Right, now here is an exercise. So you can pause the video for a moment, then check out for the answers. Right, here are the answers. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our videos.